I know what you're thinking. Darren's made a rookie mistake and is recording his videos in portrait rather than landscape. This is a collection of my guitar learning and playing tips which are recorded in portrait so they can be displayed as shorts. I'll collect up some of them, put them together into a video. So these are Darren's diamond tips on Guitars Are Hard. Enjoy. Another diamond guitar tip. Even as a beginner, you need to know how chords are formed. Take a major chord. A major chord is made up of a root note, which gives its name, the third whole note, or third whole interval, and the fifth whole note, or fifth interval. Let's look at a G. There's a G, so that's the root. We count 5 along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a B. We then count another 3, because remembering there's sharps and flats in between. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the 10th fret is a D. So let's see if that's right. So we go back to our open G chord. Let's look at the fingers. So the first string at the top we're holding there is the G. That's the root, that gives it its name. The second string there is a B, and then behind that, as we know, playing that open, that's a D note on that open D string. And there is the 3 notes that make up the chord. Hello, welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. When you're beginning, consider recording or videoing yourself, filming yourself, and then you can play it back later, analyze your playing, see where you're going wrong, because you can't do these things while you're busy thinking about where the next note is. But you can also then, over time, see how much you've improved. Play the same thing 6 months apart. You'll be staggered by how much better a guitarist you are. Welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. Here's an example of why you need to know the notes on the bottom E, this first string. I was learning a song where the progression went D, A, C, G. Simple enough, could play that, no problem. But then that was the verse, but then the chorus stuck in a B. So it went something like D, A, B, and I'm barring that, and I've lost it, and I can't get there. I thought, what would that be like as a power chord? The thing you have to remember about power chords is the root gives it its name. All I need then to know is this top string and this pattern of the top, the highest note, and then the next two frets away. You could then work out D, A, B, C, G, and that's a lot easier to play. D, A, B, C, G. The beauty of rock power chords. Hello and welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. When you're learning, you've got to pick and choose and be very careful about what you learn. My belief is that you can get through 80% of scenarios with 20% of the knowledge, but you need to learn the right knowledge. So for instance, learn major minor chords. The 7s, 8s, 9ths, sus2s, etc. can come later. You can learn to play songs of those. There's many other areas in which this applies. Be careful about what you're learning. Will you use it lots or hardly at all? Only learn the things that you will use lots. Hello and welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. When you first start learning to play standing up, one thing you might want to consider is playing in front of a mirror, and that can help you see if you're forming the chords correctly, or do what I'm doing right now, which is watching myself in the screen of a camera. Remember, when you move between chords, make the chord shape, not one finger at a time, but make the chord shape, then put your fingers down. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Bye now. Welcome to another diamond guitar tip. One of the bits of theory you have to learn is to be able to find where the notes are. One way of remembering this is that the 3rd, 5th and 7th fret, where the dots are always whole notes on the top 2 strings. On the thickest string, bottom E, those notes are G, A, B, and from that you can work out the notes around them. First one up here is F, this one here C sharp, and the 12th one is where the notes repeat to go all the way back. On the second string, the one that is A open, they are C, D and E. So on the A string, they are A sharp, B flat, and down here C, D, E, F sharp. Thing is, once you've learned G, A, B on the bottom E, you know it's exactly the same on the top E, G, A, B. You can use that to find out where the notes are, and in no time at all you will have memorized them. Hello, here's another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. When you're first learning to play chords and you'll learn to move between them, one way to get better is to look away as you're doing it and see if you can still find them. I'll play some easy chords here. Or you can close your eyes. I've even heard playing in the dark, believe it or not, so you can't cheat, but you'd only be cheating yourself. Hello and welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but even as a beginner you have to learn some theory. The first theory you have to learn is how the notes run on a guitar. So the notes are A to G, and they go whole note, half note, whole note, half note. So using the bottom E, the thickest string, from the 3rd fret they are G, G sharp, but that's also A flat, A sharp, B flat, B, and so on and so forth. And they repeat on the 12th fret, which is why that's often a double dot. The only exceptions to these, which you have to remember, are that there are no sharps and flats between B, C and E, F. And that's all there is to it. Hi, and welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. If you're playing metal or rock and you're a beginner, why not consider drop D tuning? Drop D is taking the A string, the thickest one, the first one, and tuning it down 2 intervals, which shunts along the notes that way. What that means is, instead of playing a G power chord like that, this note's moved down 2 and it's now in a straight line. So you play it just by barring the top 3 strings, which leaves these fingers free to do other things. So G, A, B, power chord. Worked for guitarists in the 80s. Welcome to another diamond guitar tip from Guitars Are Hard. Right, are you used the right pick thickness? For ages, I used this really quite thin one, but I found I had trouble in that I was losing it and dropping it. So I bought these ones, which, if you can see that, have a grip on them. And I bought 3 different sizes. So this is 0.73, and I bought right up to double that to see if that would cure it. I even bought, a bit of a Marty McFly lead guitarist from the 80s moment, a metal pick, but when you really have to dig in playing those solos. What I've lately found is that is my preferred size, which is a 0.81. I found this out just by buying packs of multi-size picks, which compared to your guitar and your amp cost nothing. So try it. You could be using the wrong size pick. Simple as that.